drums would beat at the break of dawn, the students of Confucianism at Songyungwan would rise to begin their studies. They straightened their clothes and cleared their minds every morning. The students would study the teachings of the sages to learn how to live as a proper person and build an ideal society. These Songyungwan traditions have been passed down for over 1,600 years. Myeojongbi. This monument stood in the front yard of Daesungjeon Hall, and important records about Songyungwan are engraved on it. According to ancient records, Taehak, the first national college in the Korean peninsula, was established in 372 AD. This college was the origin of today's Songyungwan. Songyungwan bears the history of Taehak. Songyungwan means preserving a fair code of laws and expanding academic knowledge to support the nation. In 1398, the school was moved to its current location because its new home was deemed to be a place that would produce more excellent scholars. In 1392, the Joseon dynasty was founded, and after the new royal palace was built, the next major decision was to move Songyungwan from Kaesong to its current location in Seoul, where it was closer to the palace. The royal officials knew that the country needed talented scholars. Myeongnyundang. Myeongnyundang means enlightening humanity. This is the place where the students of Songyungwan would take their classes. Students had to pass the Saengwon, minor civil service examination, and Jinsa, secondary grade civil service examination, which were state examinations to gain admittance to Songyungwan. Under these strict admission criteria, each student was also rigorously evaluated. Every morning, a bamboo stick would be passed around among the students. Each student would select a bamboo stick that was engraved with a single Chinese character. Then the student would have to recite every word in the book that's title started with the same Chinese character. In addition, the students would have to take the Chesul test every 10 days and the Wolgang test every month. The results from these two tests would be reported to the king at the end of the year, and top students would be recommended to high positions in the kingdom. This is the dormitory where the students of Confucianism at Songyungwan stayed. The students admitted to Songyungwan were given a domestic helper and Hakjeon scholarship. The nation supported the students like this so that each student could solely concentrate on their studies. When the students of Songyungwan would get drowsy during their studies, they would quietly leave the study room and come here to whip themselves. The students could not afford to neglect their studies when they held the future of the country in their hands and were supported by the hard work of the commoners. This library was frequented by the students. The library had 30,000 books when it was first established, and it became a place where the students would think about how to realize their goals of building an ideal society. At Songyungwan, students were not only required to take academic courses, but also took classes that helped them become healthy individuals. Yugyeolgak is the place where the bows and arrows were stored for the students of Songyungwan. Students would practice archery, to focus their minds. This is the special cafeteria for the students of Songyungwan. In order to take the Kwago examination, the students had to attain more than 300 points in the school attendance grade. To become a state official, people had to pass the Kwago first. The Kwago examination is an old state examination for aspiring state officials. Test applicants must possess excellent academic skills and a well-rounded personality to pass the exam. The students received 1 point for their attendance grade by signing their name on an attendance record twice, once in the morning and once in the evening. The students also represented the people. When the students felt that the people were being treated unfairly, they would make an appeal to the king. The signatures of each student who supported the appeal were collected and delivered personally to the royal palace to be shown to the king. When this kind of demonstration did not produce any results, the students left the school and visited the ancestral tablets of Kung Fu Tzu and other esteemed scholars to respectfully say their farewells to their school. These student demonstrations were a counterbalance to the absolute power of the king, and thus many of the students' requests were met. For over 1600 years, the spirit of Songyungwan has lived on. The spirit of becoming proper human beings with a healthy set of values. The students wish to build an ideal society by making the right political decisions that would help the people. Their main principle was called Samgang Oryun. Samgang is the 3 main principles, and Oryun is 5 moral principles in Confucianism. In the front yard of Songyungwan is Samgangmok and Oryunmok tree that symbolize these principles. The students strictly practiced these principles. The students would always refer to these principles as they absorbed the teachings of the sages. Every spring and autumn, the students would hold a Sokjeon Daeje rite to salute Kung Fu Tzu and the sages as they tried to follow the example of these wise men. Korea's Sokjeon Daeje is the only ceremony in the world that has been preserved in its original state. The students would remember the noble ideals and virtues of these scholars and try to live a life based on their principles. Songyungwan. For 1600 years, the school has produced talented leaders who led the nation. In this place, you can see the past and the future together. The spirit is kept alive. Many intellectuals of Korea passed through these halls.